Today we had an information fair for older adults with regard to transportation options, and we had other transportation providers come in and give presentations about their services and answer questions from older adults. When we realized that older adults were unfamiliar with some of the options that were available in terms of transportation in their communities, we decided that it would be great to get everybody in the same room. We were really happy with the turnout, and we think it was a great success.
As Keisha said, my name is Sean LaGuardia, and for the past 2 years, our team has spent the past 2 years developing different specialized transportation programs to fit the needs of older adults across the county. Over the course of the past year, we have developed 2 pilot programs that we are seeking to release to the public, and these services will be released to the public in the latter half of this year. We wanted to take some time today to discuss these 2 programs with you to kind of get the word out so that when we actually do implement the programs, you would be fully aware of it, and we can actually have a client base that we can provide these programs to. These 2 programs are the Community and Senior Services New Freedom Mileage Reimbursement Program and the Community and Senior Services New Freedom Taxi Cab Voucher Program. So I'm going to first start by talking about the Mileage Reimbursement Program, but before I do, I just had a couple quick questions, kind of just gauge what type of audience we have here. So can you please raise your hand if you currently, or you consider yourself to currently drive, or if you currently drive, you got here with a car. Oh man, very good. My mom can't drive a car, so I have to drive her all over town. So seeing older adults who are able to drive around town, that's really great. Can you please raise your hand if you consider yourself to be no longer driving? All right, so we have people in the room who also no longer drive. Please raise your hand if you would ask a friend or a neighbor to drive for you to a certain destination like the hospital or the grocery store, but you feel embarrassed to ask, or you feel like you would like to give them something in return for their volunteering. Raise your hand if you would ask someone to drive on your behalf, but you feel like you don't have a means to reimburse them for that trip or for that volunteerism. So one of the programs that we have, or that we're going to be putting together, is called the Community and Senior Services Mileage Reimbursement Program. And eligible clients of the Mileage Reimbursement Program would be able to recruit a volunteer driver that they trust. It could be a neighbor, it could be a family member, it could be a family friend, or it could be one of your friends here at the Senior Center who would be able to provide a ride to you to the grocery store, to the doctor, any life-enriching or life-sustaining destination throughout the County of Los Angeles. In return, you would keep a track of the mileage that that person drives for you, or those persons drive for you, and at the end of the month, you would submit a mileage reimbursement claim to the County of Los Angeles. The County of Los Angeles would then send you a check, giving you 34 cents to the mile for every mile that that volunteer driver drove for you, so that you might be able to reimburse them that 34 cents to a mile for the volunteerism. When we went around the county and we tried to design a program, we asked older adults in focus groups, what's one thing that is a barrier from you asking other people to give you a ride around to your destinations? And what we heard overwhelmingly was they felt embarrassed to ask for a ride when they had nothing to give in return. This makes it so that eligible clients would be able to say, hey, I need to get to the hospital on Tuesday, or I need to get to my doctor appointment on Tuesday. I don't really have much, but the county is offering me 34 cents for every mile that you drive. Would you be able to get me to that destination? And so that's kind of how we set up the mileage reimbursement. So the way that this would work is, once an eligible client is notified of their eligibility, they are able to recruit their own volunteer driver. They would arrange rides between them and their volunteer driver to any destination within the county. It could be the service center, it could be the grocery store. They would keep track of the mileage that that volunteer driver drives them on a mileage claim. They submit that mileage claim to the county at the end of every month. The county would take would verify those mileage claims and send a check the following month for the trips that were provided in the previous month. From there, the participant would take that check and would be able to reimburse their volunteer drivers for the rides that they provided in the previous month. A couple of questions that we've received regarding this program. The first, how many miles can I be reimbursed? We have set so that eligible clients can be reimbursed for up to 150 miles per month. So 150 miles per month. Second question, who can volunteer to drive? We've left this really open. It could be a caregiver, it could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be one of your friends here at the service center. It could be a family member who otherwise doesn't drive you, so, you know, yeah, it could be a family member. Basically, what we are stressing is someone you trust with your transportation. Where can I go? We've also left this pretty wide open. We are not putting any limits in terms of the destination types that you can go. There are some geographical boundaries within the service area that, so we can't provide you a ride from other counties, but we can provide you rides within Los Angeles County urbanized area. So that is our mileage reimbursement program. We are looking to release and implement this program by the end of the year. We're looking at September and October of this year. We are still putting together all the operational back-end elements that would make the program functional, and we will let the service centers know when we are operational, and they will be able to funnel that to you. We will also be putting together a website that's going to go live in August, where you might be able to receive further information about that program. Before my time runs out, I also want to talk about the CSS New Freedom Taxi Cab program. So I'm very happy that we have access, and we have a dollar ride, we have Pasadena Transit, we have Metro, we have LADOT, they're all here. And public transit, especially in this area, is really great. And we have all these services that are available to older adults, younger adults, that get you from point A to point B. But sometimes you wake up in the morning and you realize that I need to get to somewhere today. It's kind of an emergency, but I don't have the time, or I don't have that 24-hour wait period to request a ride. Or I wake up and I realize that I need to get somewhere immediately. It would be really great if I could have a service where if I need same-day service, I can get same-day service. And so that's what we've designed our taxi cab program to do. Under the taxi cab program, if you can receive same-day service, up to 4 one-way taxi rides per month, not to exceed more than 10 miles per trip. This is not a way to substitute for the other transportation options that are available in this room. We have designed it so it's a complement to the transportation services in this room. So if you wake up and or you realize you need to get somewhere and you haven't planned the trip for that day, you can use this as your back-end catch-all trip to get you from point A to point B. A couple basics about the New Freedom program. We have priorities as a service set up for the program. So these priorities as a service are 65 years and older, disabled, or if you have your access card, that's also that's appropriate. And there are also certain income requirements. Other program basics. When do services begin? We are looking to begin in October of this year. We have the domain name cssnewfreedom.com, but that website is not live yet. It will be live on August 1st of this year. And that's where you will be able to get information, and you will actually also be able to apply online. There will be paper applications available as well, and you can request those paper applications either through the website or when our phone systems are running, when you can request it via phone as well.
For both programs?
For both programs. So I think I have a couple more minutes. Were there any just general questions? I'll also be in the back of the room to take any other questions that you will have at the end of this whole program. Yes, ma'am.
Are those taxis wheelchair taxis?
Yes, they are. Wheelchair and non-wheelchair taxis, depending upon the situation. Well, thank you so much for coming today. We are astounded by the number of participants that we have here today. And I thank you for coming here. I thank you for participation. And I look forward to speaking with you at the back of the room. Thank you so much.